So what's your evaluation of the AFC East quarterbacks we saw this weekend? One with a win in Zach Wilson, his first career one, and then one with almost a win in the game that was one of the most watched regular season games and of interest because it was Tom Brady he was trying to match point for point on Sunday night. Let's start with Zach. What'd you think of him with the Jets?
Yeah, it was by far his best performance. I thought it's amazing what happens when you get a little bit of help up front with the offensive line. That was the best they had played up front. So he had a little bit of time, and then even when he didn't have time, he showed you the ability to extend and create. I thought Jamison Crowder being out there helped him. Just having another veteran, he knew where he was going to be. There was no miscommunication. He's just, you saw the deep ball. I mean, he's got rare talent. I mean, the ceiling for this kid is ridiculously high. But again, you're going to live with some of the bumps along the way. But that was a game, as a Jets fan, Rich, I think you can dream on and say, okay, man, imagine once we get this offensive line, hopefully you get Becton back and continue to draft and add guys to that front, and we add more playmakers around him. This guy's got a chance to be really, really good. I thought after the game, I don't know if you saw it, but his post game, one of the first things he said was, hey, look, I should have ended this thing in regulation. I got to be better. I had an opportunity there to get that done, and I didn't do it. So he understands that he's got a lot of room and space to grow. But I thought that was the way I would put it. It's a game you can dream on when you see some of the things that kid can do.
And what about Mac Jones? It seems like he is the perfect vessel for what the Patriots want to do with the short passing game that we saw for all those years with Tom Brady. What do you make of Mac Jones's first month in the NFL?
Yeah, he's kind of been as advertised, right? He's been a really good decision maker. He's been very accurate. But Rich, you can't. It's such a tightrope that they're walking with the way they're playing. When you don't have any explosives, when you only throw the ball over 15 yards once and it gets picked off, you can set all the completion records you want. But they don't put completion numbers up on the scoreboard. They put points up there. So they have got to find a way to be more explosive. And I don't know if they have that personnel on their roster right now. But if you are in a situation where you can't run the ball and you can't push the ball vertically down the field, it's just your defense is going to have to play like they did the other night and just play lights out. And you're going to find yourself winning a bunch of 13-10 type games. I just don't know if that's, I talk about Zach Wilson and I can dream on where they can go. Now they aren't as efficient as the Patriots, but they have the upside to be really good eventually. I don't know that this Patriots offense, the way it's set up, with the way they're playing, if they have the upside to be really good. I don't see it. There's no explosive plays, and you got to have them. You can't win games if you can't get explosive plays.
So what's the answer? Is it N'Keal Harry now that he's back off the IR? Nelson Aguilar can take the top of the defense off, take your shots, because the deep balls were mostly thrown on Sunday night off the trick plays. That's what you saw in that game.
Yeah, you're trying to manufacture. It's just a tough way to live. To me, it's two things. Number one, they've got to get faster. They don't have a real fast team.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got to do something in the offseason. Now, look at Mac, what he did at Alabama. They were able to get plenty of deep shots and vertical shots. You can do that when you've got Waddle and Devontae Smith out there. So they've got to give him some speed next year. And the other thing is you get deep shots in the NFL, when you have some threat of a run game. And you can pull those safeties and scare those safeties down a little bit. When you can't run the ball a lick, you don't get that luxury. So those are the two things they're going to have to get better at. So that was my thing. I think from a baseball analogy, that would be Zach would be kind of the 4 for 5 with 4 singles. And then you go, okay, that's fantastic. But then Zach Wilson can go 1 for 5 with a 3-run home run. And then you can have the debate of who impacted the game more.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.